The city is still yawning when Liam wakes up. The ceiling stain, shaped like a map, hasn't moved in years. He's the guy who raises houses for other people, and he lives above a bike shop in a quiet box that asks for nothing except the bills paid on time. His alarm is discipline itself. Cold water on his face, black coffee with no sugar, tool belt like armor. On the job site, the radio keeps playing worn-out Springsteen. The sledgehammer sets a beat only people who live by level and square can hear. Jake, boss turned friend, grins the same sideways grin. You're gonna die hugging a perfectly organized socket set. Liam laughs on the outside. Inside, nothing shifts. The offer comes at day's end, sawdust floating in the air, a blind date. 1 hour, I'll stop teasing you for a month. Liam says yes out of exhaustion, not faith. Saturday, in his least beat-up flannel and hands smelling of pine, he pushes open the door of the cozy cup, where the air tastes like cinnamon and burnt sugar. String lights shake like tame fireflies. He sees her before the chair, dark, calm eyes, hair the color of wet bark in a low bun, a silver bracelet catching the light. Beside her, folded and discreet, a wheelchair. Not a warning, a highlight. You're Liam, she says, voice low and steady, the kind that doesn't need volume to be heard. Clara. He sits and tries to hide the lateness that didn't happen. The bored barista sets down her cappuccino and his black coffee. Liam notices, without intruding, that Clara's left hand doesn't close like her right. He decides not to ask, yet. The talk slides through neutral ground, stubborn rain, an overpriced brewery on 28th, a house in Laurelhurst that only stands because the bones of the wood deserved respect. When Clara shows him a watercolor fox on her phone, mischief in its eyes, she says it easily. I work digital now. One good hand helps the other. No lament, just geography. The quiet that follows predictable questions is filled by the sound of foam falling apart in a cup. Half an hour in, she gives him a sweet rye out. You can ask. Everyone asks. He holds the cup like he's holding a promise and risks a truth. I only need a reason to be invited to the next coffee. Her laugh doesn't burst. It opens, like an umbrella at the right moment. Rain fattens on the window. The world narrows to their table, where a gentle curiosity starts to grow. Clara talks about Eugene, Rhode Island, and an accident 4 years ago that redrafted her body and calendar. 1 minute you're driving, the next you're learning to live at a different height. He listens without hammering comfort, learns from her breathing when it's time to change the subject. By the time the barista stacks chairs, he's stayed longer than promised. At the door, he offers to push, and she says yes, then hands him the curb cut. In the dew glittering on her lashes, an invite. Tomorrow, Laurelhurst, 10 a.m. I'll bring the sketchbook. You bring the coffee. He says, deal, with the seriousness of someone setting a beam. The park smells like cut grass and rinsed cedar. Clara pulls under a broad maple and reveals the real chair, carbon fiber, light as stubbornness. Her linen shirt floats near the color of the scuffed sky. Liam arrives on time with 2 peach iced teas sweating in their cups. She draws fast. In 20 seconds, a garden appears that doesn't fake perfection. Petals already browned at the edges catch light like beauty lives there. Real isn't always pretty. Real is interesting. He asks, tired, honest, if she ever gets tired of interesting. Every day, tired is better than invisible. Cyclists rustle by, a dog wrestles its own leash, and a child freezes in front of the chair. The mom tugs, mouthing a wordless apology. Clara watches without sourness, though her jaw clicks for a second. Liam recognizes the micro gesture and makes a quiet promise. I don't want to be another apology. Then don't be. The pact is born without a contract. That night he reads her text like a carpenter checks the level. Riverfront show, Friday, twinkle lights, and overpriced tacos. Liam hates crowds and says yes anyway, because of how she wrote grass, blanket, quiet between songs. The scene delivers a duo with a cello and smoke-warm vocals, kids waving neon sticks. They share carnitas and a wool blanket. When whispers drift from the towel beside them, eyes hopping from the chair to her hands, from her hands to his face, Clara stiffens through the shoulders and neck. The applause ends. I think I'm done for tonight. He doesn't push. He folds the blanket like rolling up a scene before rain. In the lot, the ramp unfurls with a zipper's metallic sigh. You don't owe anyone a performance, he says. Neither do you, she answers, and the look she gives slices through his hardest layer. Window down. I'll text you. The car leaves him holding churros gone cold. Days fall into the cadence of a hammer. Measure twice. Cut once. Repeat. Jake asks, well? And Liam offers a too careful, it was good. Clara's silence gains weight. The park bench remains whole. The space beside him doesn't. On the backs of cut lists he sketches, crooked, a man at 1.5 heights, a duck undecided on direction, 2 drinks, sweating alone. Drawing doesn't save him, but it anchors him. On the 7th day, he lets sawdust be confetti and drops the sketch in her mailbox. No note, like someone planting. The answer finds its way back. An envelope at the apartment above the bike shop, his name on the front. Inside, a shoreline drawing, him on the bench, 2 iced teas, a light softening the usual hardness of his face. On the back, in clean hand, we only draw what we don't want to forget. Thanks for sketching me when I dimmed. The paper trembles his fingers before it shakes his legs. He sprints, not the obedient jog, a lung-burning run, and finds Clara under the maple, chair folded like a faithful dog, tablet in her lap. He holds up the drawing. Yours? A quick brightness crosses her eyes. Thought you'd recognize the model. You didn't sign. Didn't need to. They sit at the right distance and learn a quiet that doesn't charge rent. She admits, at the show it wasn't the stares. It was feeling like I was still auditing my own role. He confesses, I'm no good at chase scenes. I'm no good at running away. Water wrinkles a stubborn circle around a duck. Next Saturday is set like a copper wire. Iced tea, sketchbook, no labels, just presence. When she leaves, something slides inside him. Not a beam, a level. The house he is on the inside finally feels ready for a tenant. The next Saturday morning smells like cedar and wet bike brakes. Liam leans against the bench, sets 2 peach iced teas on the armrest, and for the first time in a long time he isn't killing time. He's waiting for someone, that different thing. Clara arrives with the maple as witness again. Hair up, silver bracelet scratching sunlight, tablet held like a tame animal that sometimes bites. He stands, offers the drink, leaves exactly the right space for the chair. Not too far, not too close. The geometry of presence. I have to tell you something, he says, swallowing pride with the first sip. Jake set me up. He didn't tell me about the chair. Her eyebrow goes up 0.5 millimeter, then down. No scene. She rests the sweaty cup on her armrest and looks at him like someone opening a window. He didn't tell me you didn't know, she says. If I had, I might have skipped. I felt... He searches for a word the way you search for level on a gusty day. Tricked. Her mouth almost smiles, her eyes sharpen. She doesn't apologize on someone else's behalf. Instead, she tosses him a rope. You don't have to stay, Liam. If it's pity, you don't have to stay till the ice melts. He breathes, feels the construction site inside him line up a millimeter, just enough not to fall. I'm staying because... He points to her sketchbook. I want to see how you light what isn't perfect. Her shoulders loosen. She doesn't smile, but her body declares peace. Wind floats in the smell of hot dog buns from the kiosk, and the air between them loses its dust. Third Saturday, a thin rain. Liam rigs a makeshift tarp between the maple's low branch and the bench. Clara watches, amused, like a man building a cabin for a single afternoon. He braces a knee against the wood to test tension, just like on sight. There's a stretch of time, he says, when all I know how to do is fix. And there's a stretch, she answers, when all I know how to do is not fit where there's no ramp. They laugh with the same half of the mouth. Rain keeps time for confessions. Liam tells her about a father who thought manhood meant silence, a mother who left on a Tuesday with no clear reason, and how he learned to measure, cut, nail, anything but ask. Clara shortens her accident to the bone. Intersection, yellow light. A pickup that didn't stop. My left forgot how to fold, she says, pinching the stubborn hand. No tragic adjectives, just a map. And the worst part isn't stairs, he asks, remembering the child in the park, the mother's eye apology. The worst, she says, is when the world offers me chair instead of place. When they hand me pity, they pull the floor out. He files the line away the way you store a tool you never lend. The first small crisis hits on Saturday 4. The café ramp is busted, the door has a tiny step, and tiny turns into fortress when the day's already heavy. Liam's body shifts to lift on instinct. Clara raises a palm, gentle, stopping him mid-air. No heroes today, just ask if there's a side entrance. He reels in urgency like snapping a tape, carefully, quietly. He goes in, talks to the mustard apron barista, returns with news, the service door keys, and a simple hour bad from the manager that's worth more than a sign. Beside the citrus and cleaner-smelling bins, they roll in facing what matters, the place. Thanks for not carrying me, Clara says, the subtle turned gratitude. I'm not furniture. I'm a person. The comment lands like a hammer on a threaded rod, locks values in place. He nods, groping for a word that doesn't come, and points toward the counter. 2 peach teas, no sugar. They offer cinnamon, but we'll pass. The barista laughs, ice clinks, life resumes. Saturday 5, she shows up with her hair down, a rebellious strand loose, and a brown envelope on her lap. She doesn't hand it over yet. First, she draws his hands, the right with the old nail scar, the left with a deep valley between thumb and finger. Then the envelope. Jake pushed you into the date, she says, because I promised I'd try to try. The word taps his sternum. Try to try. Inside 2 things. A card with a fox whose wings are torn paper and a rehab discharge sheet, old, high-functioning, circled in pen. Not a dossier, a context. I felt pushed too, she says. When I realized you didn't know, I slammed the brake inside. I wanted to test if you'd stay with the quiet. You did. He laughs softly, no teeth, like accepting a parking ticket because the sign was clear. I'm good at quiet, he says. I grew up in a library of unsaid things. And I'm good at quitting before someone quits me, she says, sliding the card back into the envelope so it won't blow away. They watch the lake a while. A stubborn duck still insists on the same circle. So do they, with centimeters of progress. When she agrees to visit the construction site where Liam's raising a house, it's like entering his altar. Hard hat on his head, hers fitted over a braid, a care that never sounds like instruction. He shows where one beam talks to another in the old language of wood. She shows how light cuts through openings and paints morning rectangles on the floor. Jake appears with a grin bigger than his mouth, pockets the comment he almost makes, weighs the man who turned into a bridge. "So you're Clara," he says, offering his right hand, then switching without fuss when he sees today's handshake as the other one. "I'm the idiot who thought I was helping." No venom from Clara, just edge. Help is sometimes asking. Thanks for putting me in his path. Liam watches them square what's off. The frame holds. Nothing's going to collapse because someone said the wrong word once. Corrections exist, in roofs and between people. East wind Saturday. Trees over Laurelhurst shiver, and the lake's surface becomes a lens. Clara's got deadline shadows under her eyes. She opens the tablet. The fox for her book keeps trading wings. Every version fails differently. Liam offers no fix, only tea and quiet. Her right hand trembles from fatigue. The left cooperates just to the fine line. He pulls a second precision knife from his pocket, back up for when the first goes dull. "Brought this," he says. No fanfare. She tests the pressure and draws a feather that finally lands. File saved. She closes her eyes for 2 seconds, the equivalent of crying for someone who rations water. "You don't fix me," she says. "You keep the table steady." "And you remind me bone needs light," he answers. The first almost hug happens, not in their bodies, in the level. Everything lines up. On a not Saturday, Sunday, an envelope arrives, the proof of the book cover. In the dedication, his name is cut to an initial, for L, who showed up when the wings were still paper. He presses the card to his chest like a permit approved. He doesn't show Jake. He shows no one. It hangs above his desk with thumbtacks, next to the crooked sketches that kept him from the hole. Because every story needs a test, Tuesday delivers one under a leaden sky. The lumber truck blocks the site. Liam goes to sort it. Jake shouts a measurement from the slab, and when Liam turns back, he sees Clara under the maple alone, a teenager aiming her phone like a dart. The girl snickers with friends. The lens pins the chair, not the woman. Liam takes 3 steps and stops. Instinct wants a shield. The promise wants presence. He breathes and chooses not to be a hero. He crosses the grass and stands beside her, the way you stand beside your level. "Want me here?" he asks, plain. "Stay," she says without dropping her gaze. Then to the girls, "Hi, if you want a photo, ask. If you want to learn, sit. If not, move along." Laughter dies because clarity is antiseptic. The girls go, half embarrassed, half educated. Clara lets out air. The wheel makes the small sound he already knows means it passed. "Thanks for not performing," she whispers. "Thanks for teaching me to stand without swinging a hammer," he says. The duck keeps its circle. The wind changes. For the first time, they face a world that looks and don't shrink. That night, in her studio, he knows by scent, watercolor, paper, graphite. He notices a canvas turned to the wall. Clara hesitates, then flips it. An old self-portrait, her standing in a studio that no longer exists, the same silver bracelet, a higher smile. "I don't throw away who I was," she says. "I just don't frame ghosts." He steps to her, not the frame. He sets the canvas beside a fresh drawing. Her now, the hand that draws, the wheel as a small universe. "Before and now can share a wall," he says, "as long as we choose where to aim." She rests her head in the hinge of his shoulder and chest, 2.5 seconds by a watch he doesn't wear. Enough. Saturday, she reminds him, smiling with her voice. Same bench, I'm bringing donuts. Glazed, the only ones that matter. I'll bring the level, he says, half joke, half vow. In the studio glass, night reflects two figures, a man the size of his patience, and a woman the size of her clarity. Outside, the world keeps going, without applause, the way it should. Autumn arrives with the same sound as a saw trimming boards that ran too long. Liam feels the wind turn before the leaves fall. He's learned to read tension in air. That Saturday, she comes different. A pale coat, a rushed bun, an expression that won't land. No tablet, just a light envelope between her fingers. There's an exhibition, she says before hello. The gallery that represented me before the accident. He feels the silence pour a footing under her words. You going? She tilts her head. They invited me. Theme, bodies in triumph. A short laugh that sours the air. The curator wants me as inspiration. The word tastes bitter between them. He doesn't know whether the anger is for her, for him, or for the world. You going? He repeats. Haven't decided. She looks at the lake. The invite came from my ex. The word ex hits like a hammer on hollow flooring. Liam doesn't ask a name, doesn't want to. His chest reacts anyway, like it knows. He was a photographer, she says. Before he saw me, after he saw me, you know? A thin blade of a pause. We turned into a case study. He sets the sweating cup on his knee. What do you want to do? Run, she says, humorless laughing. But that's what I need to unlearn. Wind lifts a leaf between them. She folds it in 3 and slips it into the envelope. Will you go with me? She asks at last. Not as a chair escort, not as anyone's boyfriend, as my vanishing point. He doesn't answer with words. He pulls a bubble level from his jacket pocket and sets it on the bench back. The bubble centers. If the bubble's in the middle, he says, the rest holds. She smiles without teeth. It's the yes she needed. The gallery sits at 10th and Burnside. Glass front, smell of paint and new nerves. Lights so white they correct skin. Clara wears black, not for mourning, for focus. Liam at her side, clean flannel, beard too tidy for comfort. The looks arrive before the greetings. With each roll of the chair a hum of curiosity. With each pause, rehearsed pity. The X appears. Catalogue beard, trained smile. Clara. He leans, unsure about a hug. You came. I did. She holds the tablet to her chest, the usual shield. You remember Liam? Sure. He grips Liam's hand with that measuring pressure. The builder. Framing carpenter, Liam corrects, calm. I like structures that stay standing. Brief but clear, like a nail set true. The curator glides over with varnished voice. Clara, such a joy to have you. Your story is so... He gropes for a word and finds the mistake. Inspirational. Clara smiles just enough, and before Liam can step in, answers, I prefer persistent. Inspiration happens while the other person's still sitting down. I'm still standing, just in a different shape. The man laughs, uncomfortable. Of course, of course. She keeps moving. His explanation dangles. In the main hall, the photos fill whole walls. Bodies twisted into dramatic courage. Gold prosthetics, stylized chairs. Everything too clean, too pretty. Clara stops at an image of herself. Early, post-accident. The X behind the lens. First shoot, she says. I hadn't learned yet that I was being turned into a metaphor. Liam studies it. Clara, seated, blown out light, a look that isn't hers. "That's not you," he says. "That's who I thought I had to be to keep being seen," she says. "Today I'd rather be poorly framed than perfect for the wrong gaze." He extends his hand, not to touch, only to be there. The quiet between them frames her more honestly than any frame on the wall. At the exit, the curator tries a tidy closing line. The ex tries to reclaim ground, and Clara leaves them with a sentence that sticks. "The art I care about now is the one I'm still making. It doesn't fit in a gallery." The elevator creeps down. Liam exhales, realizing he'd been holding his breath. "You handled that better than I would have." "I trained for years to smile in rehab auditoriums," she says. "I just changed the audience." Outside, cold air is a gift. Under the awning, she pulls out the envelope and gives it to him. "What's this?" "The maple leaf from that day." She smiles. "Proof that I didn't run." He tucks it into his jacket, over his heart. "So it's settled. Next Saturday, same bench." "Same bench," she says. "No iced tea. I want rain." Saturday arrives with rain, like the sky read their script. They shelter under the maple, his old tarp stretched like a promise that survived weather. Clara places the tablet between them and opens a blank canvas. "We're drawing together today," she says. "I don't draw." "You measure, you align, same thing." She guides his hand. The result is crooked, half kid, half map. 2 lines, a bench and a tree, and above them, a circle of rain. "What's that?" he asks. "Us," she says. "The piece with no frame." Wind lifts the tarp. Rain freckles the paper. Clara laughs. It's a clean laugh, from someone who understands real art is the kind you can't redo. Liam watches the line blur and thinks love might be exactly this. A mark time tries to wash away that still reads after the storm. Winter sneaks in like the city's afraid to interrupt. Laurelhurst's trees stand bare. The park, near empty, holds the sound of Clara's wheels and Liam's firm footfalls like 2 beats of one heart. Different rhythms, one tempo. Saturdays stop being dates and become ritual. Same bench, same hour, same comfortable silence. But this silence feels heavy, like a cloud before rain. Clara isn't drawing. The tablet stays closed on her lap. Her right-hand fingers tap a rhythm he doesn't yet know. "You okay?" he asks, knowing she isn't. She takes her time, breathes, looks at the gray lake. Then, "I got an offer." He waits. New publisher, Seattle, big book, gallery tie-in, 1-year contract. He nods slowly while his body tightens like wood in cold. He pretends to adjust his cup so his hand won't shake. "That's good," he says, forcing neutral. "You deserve it." A tired corner smile. Deserving is easy, choosing is hard. He wants to say, "Stay," wants to say, "Don't go." But the words carry the weight of promises he can't uphold. "It's just a year," she says softly. "And they're only Saturdays." He looks at the bench, at the space between them, at the bubble only he can see. It's drifting. "Saturdays are the most whole thing we have," he says, voice lower than he meant. She looks away, eyes glossing without permission. "I know, but maybe I need to go to keep coming back." He works double that week, raises walls, sets roofs, builds houses for others. Inside, everything is a stalled job. In his pocket, the maple leaf envelope, more fragile now, reminds him, not everything that dries is dead. On the studio floor, he takes a clean sheet, draws the bench, the lake, and a double line, the path of her wheels and the track of his boot. Above it, he writes one uneven sentence. Not all distance is absence. He folds the page, waits for Saturday like waiting for test results. It arrives under iron sky and the smell of rain. Clara is already there, tablet open, hair down, no makeup. Her calm undoes him and repairs him. I'm taking it, she says before hello. But I don't want to go without telling you that. I'm scared. Of what? Of coming back and not finding you. He kneels beside the chair. Her eyes are both storm and shelter. I'm staying, he says. Not because I'm waiting for you. Then why? Because the bench is ours, and someone needs to keep the level. She laughs while crying. I hate you when you talk pretty. It's the only way I know to hammer without nails. She turns the tablet toward him. A new drawing. 2 benches side by side. On the first, Liam. On the second, empty, but 2 fresh wheel marks on wet ground. In the corner, a handwritten note. Not all absence is departure. Sometimes it's space to keep growing. He pulls the folded page from his pocket and hands it to her. Same idea, same words, the same heart, different hand. Clara covers her mouth and laughs, the kind you laugh when life repeats itself just to prove it's real. So we thought the same thing. No, he says, we felt the same thing. The last Saturday before she leaves, the park is nearly empty. They share a thermos of hot tea, steam mingling with cold. They say little. Clara gives him a small, handmade wooden box. To hold whatever you want, she says, or to build what doesn't exist yet. Inside, the bubble level he once forgot on the bench, bubbles still centered. Under it, a note, for when you forget the balance point. He laughs and swallows tears. What do you take from me? He asks. She thinks, lifts her arm, points to his chest. That. The sound you make when you breathe in before you speak. That won't fit in a suitcase. It fits in memory. The bus pulls away at dusk. He stays in the park, box in his hands, cold at his shoulders. He doesn't cry. He listens, the soft roll of wheels fading, trees creaking, the world continuing. At home, he pins her note above the drawing with the twin tracks. The level sits on the shelf, dead center, bubble in the middle, firm quiet. And for the first time he understands what Clara meant. Love isn't fixing. It's learning to let what wants to stand, and keeping the door open for when it returns. Winter ends without asking. Morning in Portland no longer cuts. It only reminds. Liam wakes to sunlight slanting into the studio, sledgehammer propped by the wall, the city sounding possible again. The wooden box rests on the sill between plants he barely keeps alive. Inside, the bubble level, steady as ever. Next to it, an open space. He doesn't know if it's for tools or waiting. Saturdays continue even without her. He goes to the park, same bench, same iced tea, out of stubbornness or faith. Sometimes he sketches. Sometimes he lets time pass. Jake laughs. Man, you turned into part of the furniture. Better a bench than a wall, Liam says. Months stack like wet slats. Clara's book comes out. He spots the cover in a downtown window. The fox flies now, wings finally feather. In the dedication, the name is still small. For L, who stayed. He buys 2 copies, one for him, one for the bench the next Saturday. It feels right. The wind plays the lake with light. Liam sets the book on the wood, tucks in a note. Still here, no frame, but steady. He ties it with twine and walks away. Next Saturday, the book is gone. In its place, a brown envelope, no name. Inside, a drawing. The bench, with 2 cups of tea. Between them, a maple leaf drawn with an architect's precision and the tenderness of someone who's forgiven time. In the corner, a thin tire mark. On the back, a line. Wings return when the body learns to stay. Liam smiles, unhurried. The kind of miracle that only happens when no one expects it. A week later, he hears it. The sound his body knows before his mind does. Wheels on gravel, soft and sure. He turns slowly like a man careful not to break a dream. She's there, hair shorter, face steadier, the same eyes that see everything. "You took your time," he says. "Had to learn not to run," she laughs. "And you?" "I learned to stay." She sets the tablet on her lap, opens a new project. The Book of Homes That Stay. Stories of people who didn't leave even when the world said to. First chapter title, The Man Who Built Saturdays. He grins. "That about me? About what you taught me." "What's that?" "That love isn't a wall, it's a window." A maple leaf skids between them. She presses it to the screen, sketching with sure strokes. The sound of something finally clicking. The invisible level between them returns to the center. "Same bench," he says. "Same tea." "Same us," she answers. Late sun goes soft and gold on the lake. Ducks remake their circles. For a breath, the world stops asking for hurry. "You know what I found in Seattle?" she asks. "What?" Not every flight is a departure. Sometimes it's just the way a body arrives different. He leans his shoulder to hers, simple, precise. "So now we stay." She smiles. "Until next Saturday." No cinematic kiss, no carved promise. Just 2 people under the same maple, the bubble centered, wind whispering. The house is firm. 2 years later, the park is the same, completely different. The wide-limbed maple still shades the bench, but now a small bronze plaque sits at its base. For anyone who learned that staying is also a way of arriving. No one knows who paid for it. Maybe Clara, maybe Liam, maybe time itself, which likes to leave marks where love was too modest to show off. Liam still works with hammers and squares, but he doesn't live alone now. The studio above the bike shop holds 2 easels, brushes in glass jars, and a stack of pressed maple leaves between art books and blueprints. Sometimes Clara draws till dawn, screen light reflected in the eyes of the man pretending to sleep just to hear the stylus scratch the glass. "It's crooked," she sometimes says. "It's alive," he answers. The heart's plumb line doesn't follow a ruler. First winter together, the park turns to mud. They go anyway. Liam carries a thermos. Clara wraps the tablet in flannel. The bench is damp and still theirs. "Remember when you said you didn't want to be carried?" he asks. "I remember," she laughs. "Still don't." "Good," he says, shoulder to shoulder. "Because now I need you to push me." She blinks. "What do you mean?" He pulls a small rusty key from his coat. "The new house. Ours. Saturday by Saturday we built one. Just needs paint." "What color?" "Whatever color the sun makes passing through your hair." She nudges him with a wheel, half laughing, half crying. Cheesy. True. On move-in day, she arrives first. On the empty living room floor, a sheet of paper is taped down with a sentence in thick marker. "Real isn't pretty, real is interesting." She recognizes the words. Hers. Liam smiles from the doorway. Seemed like they should be the foundation. On their new shelf, between plants that finally learned how not to die, Three things stand side by side: the wooden box, the bubble level, a dry maple leaf in glass. When the wind hits the window just right, the level trembles and the bubble wanders, then returns to center. Liam says it's the house telling them it's alive. Clara says it's time, thanking them for not rushing it. Saturdays, they still go to the park. Same bench, same tea, sometimes rain, sometimes sun. Clara draws, Liam reads or simply looks. When people pass, a couple, a curious kid, an unleashed dog, they just smile, knowing neither of them has to explain what they are. Love isn't miracle or pity or mission. It's maintenance, the courage to return, to trim the excess, to reinforce the beam. It's the space between stay and go, where life actually happens. Near dusk, Clara closes the tablet, rests her head on his shoulder, and hands over a signed plan. The house is firm. Eyes still closed, Liam answers. And the bubbles still in the middle. Leaves whisper. For a second, the whole world feels balanced. This story reminds us that true energy comes from within, the kind that renews us every day. If this story touched your heart, check the pinned comment to discover products that inspire renewal and balance. Leave a like and subscribe to join us in our next story.